You just blew my mind.
I mean, we have to bust it open?
Oh, you're doing it, or else we're gonna bust your whole scheme wide open.
Sure busted him wide open.
Busted. The case just got busted wide open.
Open! Break yourself, fool! You broke it wide open, Dad.
I'm gonna bust both of your heads wide open.
Busted.
He's the guy who tipped me off the Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah, it's totally wide open.
All right, open wide.
Say what again?
Bust this thing wide open.
Shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I ain't even got to look. I should send your ass back to Crenshaw Pete with his hot-ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like
I
that?
swear to God, man, I'm on a mission to ruin my hearing.
Oh, yeah. You and me
ruin
both.
it. I have
feel
no,
the same way.
I have no regard to my hearing whatsoever.
Yeah, right?
How baffling is that? Over the years, I've just continually done things to smash. I played drums since I was a young man, a young lad, if you will. Any other form of music, just expose myself. Just fuck you, earplugs.
Did you ever wear earplugs during
Fuck
drumming?
no,
Never.
never once. The closest thing to earplugs that I ever wore were headphones.
Right.
And sometimes I would plug into the guitar amp, and the guitar amp would still play.
More
but
sound over the drums.
Right. I just needed, because the drums are so loud that I needed to hear what
More
was going on.
sound.
And we were kids, and we didn't have monitors, so
Right.
you just had to scream and yell louder. I didn't have monitors until we got in a band together.
And that's when we were really fancy with life.
Yeah, and still, no headphones.
Jamming.
No monitor or
Never.
no earplugs, no none of that.
I make fun of people for wearing them. Wussy. Like earbuds at concerts, but I
At
need to start
concerts?
doing that.
Yeah.
100% need to start doing that.
It is a thing. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the Busted Wide Open podcast. It's your buddies, your friends, your pals.
You.
My name's Tommy O'Neill.
I am Brian Cintron.
This episode is episode 54.
Is it really?
Yeah, if a
Man.
straight year of episodes.
Wow.
Not all of them are available to the public.
Good.
Some of them are only available on our Patreon.
Well,
if you want to become a member there, you can go there
Yeah.
and figure that out.
Those are X-rated.
You'll get those X-rated episodes. The beginning stages, the birth.
We're showing Bush.
Yeah, the first whatever books of the Bible, you know?
Exactly,
Whatever that is.
The First Testament.
I had to rent a car today this morning /
Yo.
afternoon, 10 a.m. I guess that's this morning.
10,
still.
yeah, absolutely.
No, that's still this morning. Lots
the
to do
heat of
this
the morning.
A lot of stuff. A lot of radio calls. Got up, had to pick up the little brother from the
Little
airport.
broski.
Little brother.
Mac attack.
Is coming to L.A. Had to rent the car this morning. I went to just down the street. Budget. I love L.A.
Budget?
I
Okay,
love
word.
it. I love it. Everywhere you go, convenience. Just nonstop convenience.
No doubt.
It's a city. Whatever you want, we got it here.
No
It's
problem. It might
around
take you
here.
2 hours, but it's going to be there.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree. Driving, yes. If you're talking about
Maybe.
getting there, that's going to take you 2
Getting there
hours.
is going to take you 2 hours.
When you're there, I don't think it takes you 2 hours.
You could walk faster and get there. You could probably walk to Santa Monica faster than you could drive.
I think that's what they're encouraging. I think
Walk on through.
I think
Take a scooter.
At the end of the day, all the car companies and oil companies, they're really encouraging you to just walk at
Like,
the
guys,
end of the day.
we've made enough money, okay?
Yeah.
We've caused enough terror through this world that we could really just take a few years off and
There's so many of cars on the world that, you guys just take, you need to
take
walk.
a break.
You need to walk.
Walk it out. Take a scooter. Yeah, I'm sure all the oil companies are
So,
thinking that.
I rented a car. Sweetest pie guy. The guy before me was mean to the guy. So
Oh,
I'm always
man.
extra nice so when I see somebody being unjustly mean.
People love being mean to the rental car guys.
Yeah, I immediately just handed them my license and credit card. I was like, "Hey, buddy, I know that I've rented so many
Whatever you got,
freaking
man.
cars." Yeah, no, I had it registered, so or whatever that is, reserved online. Yeah, God, work your brain, buddy. Come on, you dyslexic moron. I didn't do my exercises this morning. I didn't go on my phone and didn't do
Big
the
mistake.
dyslexic exercise. I know, big mistake. So
That's a lot to say there.
I know,
Huh.
big what
Dyslexic
exercises?
exercise.
I know.
Yeah, I
You-
can't
that's
even say
almost
it.
an exercise in
I
and
need
of
to do the
itself.
exercise myself.
I know. So I rented the car. I was super nice to the guy, and someone on the phone, I guess, wasn't unpleasant or was pretty unpleasant to him
Tight.
as well. So I was nice to him, and he offered. He was like, "Oh, we have limited cars right now, but we have a Mustang GT.
You're like,
So
"Oh, do you now?"
I'll go ahead and give you that for the same price." And I was like, "Okay, no problem." Within 2 seconds, he goes, "Oh, actually, I can't do that. Never mind. I can't do that upgrade." Why would
damn.
you? Don't mention it.
Man, you can't. Yeah.
Look first and don't mention it.
Big
Don't
mistake.
bring me up to
No.
tear me down. You know what I mean?
My bad. We got the 88 Geo Metro for you instead,
Oh.
man. That I forgot.
It's a Nissan something or another, but it doesn't matter what it is. It's not a Mustang GT. And I was like,
Okay.
oh hell yeah.
But
I was like, I'm going to keep this car for a day then, for sure.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really
I
appreciate
was
it.
going to bring it back tonight, whatever car I got, but then he gave me the Mustang.
Is it a little Nissan or is it a bigger Nissan?
It's a four-door sedan.
It is a 4-door sedan?
It's not terrible. It's not a bad car. I'm not hating the car.
Right.
It does smell like somebody Ubered it.
Oh, shit.
It smells like cigarettes and BO.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. It's the first bad-smelling rental car I've ever had.
I've never encountered that, actually.
The last rental car I had was in Minnesota a month ago, and that one was beautiful. The guy upgraded me for free and gave me a brand new 2020. It was a Ford something or another.
Fusion or
No, it was a SUV, which I was kind of like, but then I was like, Tommy, you're gonna be driving in
Cruising.
you're gonna be driving. You need an SUV. Go ahead.
the
SUVs are
terrain.
safe. You're fine. There's airbags out. It's 2020. Don't hate on this guy. Gas is a little weird, but when I got there, the gas was like $2 a gallon. Insane. I was like, oh my god. I didn't think about it. The whole time I was talking to Allison. I was like, when we get to a certain point, we need to retire in a place like this when our careers can be done for
just drive.
wherever. Yeah, dude. And just live in a place where our money can be spent right. And I don't want to live in Florida like that. That's not a good place. This place was clean. The weather was nice. Now you do have to deal with the snow. That's the difference.
Which is
the
a whole
difference.
thing.
That is a whole other
underrated whole thing.
You're signing up for a different type of hurricanes and alligator atmosphere versus Florida. And there's a lot of people in the snow that are like, I'll take the alligators. 100%. How crazy is that?
They move and they're like, this is the best weather on the planet. And it rains, 158 days of the year. That this is fine.
But it's crazy in life that you really don't. How weird is it for me to be disappointed then at that point? After he told me that he was going to give me the GT, and then I didn't get it. Because it's kind of unfair for me to be upset about that.
No, but that's human as fuck. Like,
Isn't that human?
It's just a tease. With anything, if I'm like, yo, dude, I got a free ticket to the movie or whatever, immediately I'm like, just kidding, man. I don't have it anymore. Like,
or just like,
damn.
I forgot. Oh, shit, my girlfriend just texted me. She's coming instead. My bad, dude.
Oh, yeah. And like, exactly. And like, you didn't ask, like, yo, man, do you have an upgrade or do you have a free ticket? Like, no. He brought it up.
I would
like,
never
yo, man.
do that, by the way.
Hey, but anyway, but if you got an upgrade for today.
Because you're least likely to do that. You're least likely to get it.
Sure don't.
Yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, please and thank you mentality gets you free stuff, upgrades all the time.
It baffles me that people haven't caught on to that yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People have, oh, wow, when you're nice, sometimes, not always, but people will do nice things to you. It baffles me that people haven't been like, yo, maybe if I'm just nicer to people, like, they'd be nice to me.
It is crazy.
It's an insane concept, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you like the Nissan, man? Is it fun?
No, like I said, it kind of feels a little. I grabbed on the handle and it felt like it had been yanked on 8 billion times.
Oh man,
a little weird.
Stinky in there.
LA's always like that though. It's just everything in LA.
It's gonna get beat, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna get a ride.
There's a lot of people here to make sure that happens.
No question about it.
And it honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if people used it just for Ubering. Like, you could rent that car for, low key. I mean, I don't want to brag to the listeners because you guys, you guys are always like Tommy and Brian. You guys are asking us for money.
Listen, we need.
Hey, you're bragging how much you ball. You know
what I'm saying?
Low key,
again,
$31 for the day.
Solid gold.
Not too bad. So if you're
bad.
Ubering, if you factor all that in, it's like, maybe I don't want to do the damage on my car, but I'll do the damage on another car.
Can you like?
It's unlimited miles.
But do you think you can swap out cars like that if you, as an Uber driver?
I knew drug dealers that did that, for sure. They would daily,
not
to brag, but like,
brag.
Again, not to brag.
Well, it makes more sense with something, as funny as it sounds, it makes more sense with something illegal. With
Okay.
Uber, like, can you register a different vehicle every day?
Oh, yeah, that's fair. No, you can't. Because
That would be tough.
But I've heard the vehicle inspection thing, you just drive up and they go, all right.
Right.
It's not,
good.
a mechanic doesn't look at it.
Of course, but like, are you doing that every day? Can you do that every day?
Maybe if your car's in the shop, you can.
Just like, hey, just car trouble again, buddy, every day.
You're right. It doesn't seem like it would happen. You're right. That does seem like a unique situation in order for somebody to need that car. Unlikely.
But I mean, it would make sense. Like, yo, I can't
afford
a car.
Then the last asshole to use this was one stinky, smoky bastard. I'm going to tell you what.
I don't doubt that one bit.
That was the last guy that used it.
I feel like in LA, people rent cars totally different out here too. Like out of towners, but I feel like locals do that too.
That's fair. More people, because Florida has, where we're from, Florida has some weird rules about renting cars.
Super.
Like you can only drive 100 miles a day. What? Yeah, that's it.
That's why I'm renting cars. I gotta drive like a distance, you know.
I gotta go to Georgia.
I gotta get outta here, you know?
No. You can't take us out of state. You want to go out of state? I knew you wanted to stay.
Well, see, that's-
when you
that's
walked
what we
in,
knew.
this is why I told my manager. I was like,
That guy's
this
got
asshole
something to do
wants
out
to
of
go.
state.
They all have that weird rule. California doesn't. They're like, yeah, rent a car. I don't care. You want to drop
Cool,
it off?
man.
Drop it off in Alaska. Who gives a shit? We don't
You
care.
shouldn't leave California. It's pretty dope out here, man. But okay, if you want to,
Yeah.
drive on, brother.
My
drive
dad
on.
rented the car in San Francisco and dropped it off in a place right next to us, like down
There
the
we
street.
go.
How crazy is that?
They're all connected.
Yeah.
You can use that car for the same shit.
They're all one. Who cares?
They're all one.
Doesn't matter.
That doesn't.
Yeah. Basketball. You want to talk about that for a little bit before we roll on through to the other side?
Yeah. It's
A lot
been
of
breezy.
exciting stuff. You know, Toronto Raptors came to town,
Toronto Raptors.
beat up the Lakers, and lost to the Clippers, baby.
Hey, man.
The Lakers have been playing great, other than the
Yeah.
recent loss.
Yeah.
Man, fantastic. Such a fun time to be living in Los Angeles right now.
I think it is, man. I think
Yeah.
it is. The games are popping lit every night. I feel like there's a good game every night.
It's fun to be a basketball fan right now.
It really is. I think you can root for any team right now and have like a good outlook on life.
Any home team has a good you can rep your squad.
There's some kind of foundation there.
Yeah.
Like, at least being built or established. Unless you're a Knicks fan, then you're just really, it's just really sad.
How
for
do
a
you
long
how do you
time,
feel
but-
about that press conference that just happened?
Which one? The Knicks press conference?
Yeah. Did you hear about that? So they
No.
basically came out during the last loss or the day after the last loss during practice, which press conferences are usually reserved for big announcements or when a team's killing it. They do some press stuff during a practice where they have a
Hey,
whole thing
guys.
set up. But yeah, they pretty much approached the media, set up this thing, and started just bashing the team publicly. You know, like, this isn't what we wanted. We're kind of not blaming the staff, but we are kind of blaming the staff. What he said was real vague. The owner and GM, both guys, was really odd and very un-NBA.
That's very.
It felt like
that seems more NFL-ish. Like
NFL, and also just like some guys that are throwing down money to buy a team. Felt very unprofessional. It's like, oh, this is an NBA thing. But
James Dolan in a nutshell, worst owner ever.
sure, but it does feel like the makings of a dismantling and a selling. Like, this is not going well. Maybe homeboy needs to just get rid of the team and go. The Knicks need to get a different thing going. It feels crazy that's the case for one of the biggest cities in the world,
Yeah, and that's the most valuable.
not just our country.
I think, and don't quote me on it's either the first or second. It's the most valuable NBA franchise, which is insane to think. Like, and they've been horrible for how long? Like 3 decades. You know what I mean? Like,
I
they
think
have
that's
some
what-
runs, but
I think that's what people are just waiting on, for them to be that bad to where they're not as valuable, to where
yes,
you can just make some kind of money off that deal.
Eureka,
Yeah.
dude. Because new ownership would flip that franchise around almost overnight.
That's what I'm saying.
People have mentioned, like, yeah, no, I'm not messing with that dude. That guy is the worst. Like, for you to come out like that, do a press conference 10 games into the season,
Bad news.
is absurd. That would make sense if, like I said, more NFL.
With a
'cause
couple
it's
guys
big like
that are literally, it's their first year in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's
Who
their
was
first year.
expecting them to be like, yo, the
Not a
Knicks
soul.
this year they're gonna pull through? Like,
Not
nah.
a soul. Nobody.
That's very silly.
It's crazy.
That's very silly.
And you were telling me about the Dion Waiters from the Miami
Yo,
Heat.
that edible baby
Came to LA, slipped up, got a gummy bear, and flipped out.
It was there was a report that said
I didn't know it was in LA though. That's crazy. It was
Yeah,
from
yeah.
when the run they came here.
surprise,
You
surprise.
can't
right?
fuck with these edibles out here,
Oh,
guys. Don't do that.
He's like, I eat gummies back in Miami all the time, and they're
It's
pretty
not a
chill.
big
I don't
deal.
even know
My
what
buddy down the street makes them. Not a
Yeah,
big deal.
It's cool. He makes it by the gallon. He said a report said somebody else from the team gave it to him,
Oh.
but he wouldn't expose him because he's not a snitch. It's like,
Then
this
why-
is so silly?
Then
Like, what?
why would you say that somebody else gave it to you on the team?
Yeah, like where did that come out then? Like,
If
what?
you're not a snitch, you saying that is already being a snitch. A snitch is you saying anything. Your job after you get caught is to go, sorry,
Yo, man,
I don't know how it got in me. Somebody drugged me. I thought it was normal gummies.
It was some chick, man. You know these bitches out here.
The
you know?
opposite of a snitch is a denier. That guy to the grave just go, I don't know what you're talking about. That guy is the opposite of a snitch. I'm not saying either are good. I'm just saying you can't be tattling half
tattle.
and then say you're not a snitch. It's like, no,
It's
dude,
like,
you're a
listen,
little
one
snitch.
of the boys gave it to me, but I'm not gonna tell you which one because I ain't no snitch.
If you guys don't know, Dion Waiters took an edible out here in LA when he played the Lakers and Clippers, and got on the plane, ate. I have no idea how many he ate, and then started flipping out. And according to Brian, and then I later on went on ESPN and found out that he started freaking out, had a quote panic attack. Yeah,
I love a meltdown.
I love panic attack because it's like, yeah,
Panic attack sounds really bad.
of course you're gonna say that though.
Panic attack.
I have witnessed people personally, my wife, that has had a legit
Oh, girl.
panic attack by one bite. So I know it's possible just
Word.
depending on who you are. So he did have a panic attack. The poor guy freaked out. He's like, am I never going to win a championship
That's
for the rest
what's
of my
freaking
life?
him out. Like,
Has he won? No, he's won one, right? I think he played with Brano.
he was on that Cavaliers team. I think
he won.
right?
I think he won with Brano.
Wow,
yeah.
good for him if he did.
I say Brano. No one knows what I'm talking about.
People know Brano.
Brano's a good one, right?
King. Yeah. Man.
The Lord and Savior himself.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Cristo.
That's crazy. That whole Dion Waiters, that's so insane.
What a big mistake.
What a big mistake.
What a big mistake on his part.
Maybe it's just, like you said, maybe it was just a toxic one. Maybe he eats them all the time, but this one was just, but he got the full cookie. And just
That's why you go ahead and not do that if you're an NBA player. I know it sucks being on a plane for, I don't know, 5 hours. Maybe they're going back to Florida. It's a 5-hour flight.
You know, like there's probably some days like, bro, I haven't slept right, and like maybe it's just like I'm eating one, I'm gonna pass out. Like, this one's kind of strong.
I gotta be honest with you. Burn, smoke. Like, and also those planes. That's the Miami Heat plane. You're telling me you can't go
relax.
in the bathroom and like get a vape pen and just vape a little bit and be like, all right, chill. Instead, you're gonna run that risk and take a possible life-altering edible.
I'm having a meltdown.
I'm losing it. It's funny.
What do you think you think a panic attack or a meltdown is worse?
Meltdown's good for you. Panic attack, I don't think. Panic attack just freaks you out and scares you into never doing the drug again. A meltdown can like kill your ego, and then when you come back, you're like, whoa, dude, that was a unique experience. I'm going to come back and do that.
Meltdown feels way more emotional. A panic attack obviously is emotional.
And thorough.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Panic attack feels like you just dipped your toe in a scary water. And you're like,
scary, yeah.
Nightmare.
Right. Or even if it's not real, you're having a panic attack.
Oh, it's real.
And it's real, but like a meltdown, it's very real. Like it's that emotion.
It's the Matrix type thing where it's real in your brain. So that's real enough.
Exactly.
It's real enough. It'll
meltdown.
If you die in your brain, you die in real life.
It's over, man.
For
yes.
sure.
That's a meltdown.
Yeah.
So it does feel heavy emotional.
Yeah.
I don't want either.
Heavy. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the NBA
Yo.
that has nothing to do with basketball. It's very funny.
Deep.
It's a lot going on. And really entertaining. It's a fun time to be alive, thriving, ingesting, consuming,
nurturing,
processing, and then creating and delivering. And if you guys enjoy what we're creating and delivering, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It always helps us out.
Buy some Lakers tickets.
Buy some Lakers tickets.
You know what I mean?
Give it to us so we can go report on the game for you.
We'll report really good.
Real good.
Reporting real good is what we do out here, Tommy.
Oh, are you going to give me something right now, dude? Hold on. Let me get the music.
It's something that we do, and we do it.
I asked you if you wanted your own music.
I appreciate that.
You
That was
say
very
no.
nice.
You say no. I
had nothing.
I like to queue up music. I like to get it
feel
in my
that,
mind.
and I appreciate that.
Hey, this podcast, there's limited rules, but when it's your week, you take that fucking week over. You know what I'm
Take
saying?
the rubber off.
It's like
when
a
it's
bear.
my week, baby.
It's like a bear, and he sees that trash barrel, and he's like, "Oh, that ain't your trash anymore. That's my trash, raccoon.
I'm a rummage
I'm
raccoon.
gonna eat you, raccoon."
Eat you good.
What's up, bro? Give it to me, man. I'm really curious. I love when I ask you, and you're like, no.
Yeah, we talked about that
I
earlier.
like it. Like it, don't like it.
I refuse to let Tommy know what
I refuse.
I refuse to let Tommy know what the theme was this week yet. Because I assured him once we get into it, you're gonna be like, okay. Yes, it's been gaining momentum, and somebody threw it in my face recently, and it gave me more momentum.
Jeffrey Epstein?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, I'm not going there. I'm going way more.
They killed him, you know.
You heard about that? I'm going way
Spill
deeper
my
than
drink.
that, dude.
Okay.
Way deeper. Maybe you could tell me. Maybe by these very vague descriptions of the company, you can tell me what I'm talking about.
Oh shit.
Established in 1977, San Jose, California.
Ooh.
Co-founder, Nolan Bushnell. Does that name sound familiar at all?
And Bushnell? Maybe is it Bush? Is
Nolan.
Is it? Oh, Nolan's the name.
Bushnell.
Bush?
I mean, his first name is Nolan. Last name Bushnell.
But Bushnell, is Bush an important name? Because if Bush is an important name, that's definitely the alcohol company.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
No, okay, it's
No.
not them? Okay.
Bushnell is one word, different. Yeah, not
Bushnell.
spelled different.
Nope, your boy's an idiot. I have no idea what the fuck you're
That's
talking
okay.
about.
I didn't either.
Okay.
He was part owner and founder of Atari.
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Weird. We're not talking about Atari. Man. I'm not going there, okay?
you got me, dude.
I'm not going there,
You
brother.
got
Okay?
me, bro.
Gotcha. Good. All right. But stay in that vein. This Nolan gentleman
I'll get in the main vein.
prove it, brother. From his Atari fame, claim to fame, made a little money, whatever. He decided to invest in something else he really felt passionate about.
Cars?
Never.
Oh, okay. I thought this was going to be the guy that made the DeLorean.
Oh my God, no way. What is this? 8th grade?
I thought that guy did something with that, but it could be
This
wrong.
is way deeper, Tommy.
Sorry.
This is way deeper. Nolan said, yo, what else is my passion in life, man? Very similar to yours. Pizza.
Pizza.
Motherfucking pizza, brother.
I got a problem. I'm not going to lie.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all? What else did he love? He loved pizza and animatronics.
Oh, my God. Are we talking about what I think we're talking about?
I think we might be talking about what we think we're talking about.
I know a little something about this guy.
I think you know a little something about this guy, buddy. In case the bomb hasn't been dropped yet, we're talking about everybody's favorite pizza.
CEC Incorporated.
CEC Incorporated. That's not a band. Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. Okay? What got me along? We'll get to it. But in case you've never heard of it, in case you're one of our viewers from Zimbabwe and you're not familiar with this pizza chain,
I feel like everybody in America,
I think in America, I really believe
possibly worldwide, it is a known
think worldwide?
French fries. French fries.
French fries. They come with like ranch.
French fries.
French fries, dude. Yo.
Ew.
French fries. Okay, guys, listen. Don't steal that, man. We got it on tape. We got to book that, dude.
Fuck with us.
French fries. That sounds so aggressively white, too. That's hilarious.
My brain sucks.
Trademark. No, it doesn't. You see, you struck gold. Your brain's so good, it works on a different. It works on a different frequency. Don't ever doubt that, dude. It's different. So Nolan, he decides like, yo, let's make this like pizza.
I can't take Nolan for a first name. That's so. I like
Nolan
it.
Ryan, illest baseball player ever.
Okay,
Come on,
fair
man.
enough. Nolan. Yeah.
Nolan.
He wants cheese. He wants pizza. He wants rats. All in the same building.
Now, funny you said that.
Did
All
they?
right?
Was it rats originally? 'Cause I feel
Nolan
like
bought.
I know this. Don't know this.
Yeah, you probably know a little. You probably, oh shit, like Nolan purchased like, yo, let's get an animatronic fucking coyote.
He liked Disney. That was it, right?
He did mess with Disney.
He
yeah.
he loved the concept of Disney,
Yes.
and he thought that he could do what Disney was
Had
doing.
some Disney investors too in the early stages too. Like he came equipped.
Yeah.
Homie came right. He wasn't like Chuck E. Cheese didn't come together with like, yo, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel to pull this together. Like, nah, they came correct for the most part. And he wanted to be a coyote, and like he purchased this animatronic coyote, and the homies were like,
That's a rat.
"That's a rat, dude. Like that ain't no coyote, man."
Wow. Okay. So we're not looking at it right now, but everyone else, if you're going on our YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube or podcast, you're gonna see that image right now. That's crazy. I didn't.
Crazy.
I know what the original one looked like. Kooky. He looks kooky. He looks
for
kooky.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, he still looks a little kooky, but this one was like oddly like
Wow, that must have been
rambunctious.
so disappointing to be like,
damn.
because a rat is so different from a coyote. It's like,
Bro,
oh
what?
no, it's cool, man. Like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
It's the
Mickey
same
Mouse.
thing.
Yeah, that's adorable. And this is gonna be like a little cooler. It's a cooler version of a mouse.
I would-
a coyote.
I would hate that. Yeah, no, I'm saying when they got the rat though, it's like
Exactly. Yeah. Like what a.
I don't know what you do with that because my biggest fear would be people's recognition with Disney. They'd be like immediately, dude, you're ripping off
okay,
Disney's
man, you know what I'm
mouse.
saying?
You know
Probably shittier pizza.
that's
know?
crazy. That's how that ended up being
Pretty crazy, right?
a rat with cheese.
A rat with cheese. And believe it or not, like, because it was gonna be called Coyote Pizza, like literally Coyote Pizza.
Huh.
And it was gonna be like a little zinger, real quick or whatever. And then he was like, okay, well, it's a rat. We spent a lot of money on this thing.
Coyote Pizza, huh?
Coyote Pizza.
I kind of like that name.
It's kind of neat. It would have been a whole,
I might have went to Coyote Pizza.
especially if you heard about it your whole life. Coyote Pizza sounds kind of lit. Like, sounds like a whole thing.
Well, they had more of the water. You remember the water ride at Disney? The
Splash Mountain?
Banjo Bears.
Oh,
During
yeah,
it, you know what I
yeah.
mean? The Bears
Bing,
playing.
bing,
the thing.
bing, 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 bing.
They also had like a little show there where you can go sit down and they had their little concert and you can eat too at like a restaurant.
Yes.
Remember this?
Yes, that all sounds familiar. Yes.
Vaguely when you were a kid.
Vaguely,
little
but
puppy
yes.
bear, little panda bear. I think originally it was more like that in the birthday setting. It was more the backwoodsy.
Bing, 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 bing,
Yeah,
bing.
that kind of feel.
Yee.
That kind of feel with the coyote. So that all
Coyote.
that kind of makes sense with that
It probably
fit.
would have been branded totally different. It would have
Totally
been
different.
It would have been like a Southwestern vibe or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could have been real different. But maybe that bombed. Who knows? Like, maybe that could have bombed.
That's
so
true.
He was like, okay, I guess we can't call it Coyote Pizza. How about Rick Rat's Pizza?
Oh boy.
Rick Rat's Pizza.
I would have loved to have been in that room.
Believe it or not, the higher ups were like, nah, let's go ahead and miss that or
Look,
whatever.
buddy, we worked for Disney for years. We're not going to play that shit.
You know, we got Mickey Mouse, Rick's Rat Pizza.
Ugh.
Does that sound good? Like,
That sounds
appetizing at
terrible.
all?
Anything
Like,
with the
yeah.
rat and food, I can't believe that even did. I can't believe that did well. And honestly,
Yes.
at that point, I would have thought that would be the end of us when we decided
Damn.
we're gonna go with the rat. Oh boy,
We're gonna let it ride.
Oh,
That's
boy.
why you have to. And they
We're
were like,
fucked.
listen, we have to name the rat. You know what I mean? So we have to incorporate that. We can't just
anthropomorphize him. We have to make him human. We
You
have
have to.
You have to
Yeah.
make him like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle esque.
right, exactly. So it's like, yeah, he'll be Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
Well, okay, so we'll call the place Chuck E. Oh, okay, that works. And it bopped.
I took a team of 18 dudes in a boardroom
Oh,
coming
you know
up with
it,
that
dude.
shit.
Working, making a shit ton
Okay.
of money doing that. For some
Okay,
reason,
we got Chuck, right? I like Chuck. Chuck's a good one. Yeah. All right, but we got to get cheese in there. How do we do that?
Cheese.
I got an idea. We'll put an E in the middle of it. Genius!
Genius. Lock it up. Lock it up. Break it down. Lock it up.
I got to call my kids. I haven't seen them for 4 days.
Yeah, dude. For real. You know, they've been tirelessly working. There's like, there's like black and white pictures of them just like really struggling and shit. Like,
One
yeah.
guy's thinking about killing himself, hanging by the window.
One guy does, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that went well. And from like 79, 81, really crushing it. Which is not like a super big amount of time, but
No, but for your opener, that's a good time to kill
start
it.
strong.
That's a good time to
to
kill
start
it,
strong, yeah. And they went public in 81 too, which was kind of a big deal. That's when they got money was popping in for them.
I'm sure that's when it takes a turn for the worst. Whenever you get public money involved,
Bingo, bango.
companies tend to fall apart for whatever reason.
Yeah, and then that's by 83.
Except for
was
McDonald's.
McDonald's ain't going nowhere, man. Nowhere. Institution. By 83, as funny as that sounds, the great video game crash happened. Okay?
Yeah,
Bummer. You know what I mean? So they went
because
it took-
everyone started making. Let's talk about that for just 2 seconds. Everyone started making really shit video games.
and a lot.
A lot.
The
And
market was just
Atari was probably the biggest sinner of this.
oh yeah.
A lot of people made the same games because of intellectual properties being so loose with video games at the time. They didn't have a lot of specificities on it. You had to basically get the rights to the technology, not the game.
Right.
So a lot of guys
It's like,
weren't. They didn't
as long as
understand
you know how
that.
to make it,
Yes.
you can make whatever you want.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And they couldn't. And the only way to prevent
right.
that was to make a unique mechanism in the way that they made it. That's when you get the cartridges and all this other stuff. And that's when companies like Sony and Nintendo started getting the rights to cartridges and CDs. That's when that really started
Really
to
snuck
take
up
off.
in there.
Right. And the crash happened because all these really shitty offshoot companies started making bazongo
Pumping.
games.
Yeah.
Horrible games.
Where it was just making like the consumer like, wow, well, this is all trash now. And just the price were going crazy. It said in that time, in those like 2 years that was going down, it went from a $3.2 billion, like
industry.
industry to about $100 million. That's a 97% drop.
How
Like,
crazy.
that's, dude, what is that? That's insanely bad.
And it's because they did stuff. They had like 14 different versions of Pong. The game
How
Pong.
many versions of that do you need?
And like half of them are under Atari. Like what? Why? What? Pong
making
Extreme.
money,
You know,
man.
it's like who cares?
We're pumping this into Chuck E. Cheese, bro. Like,
Yes.
for real though,
We
which I
need to
guess
feed
like
the cheese.
the cheese needs to be cheese,
And
man.
then the cheese fed Atari. Life lesson.
Life lesson. So this is going hand in hand with the Chuck E. Cheese thing because they got the video game vibe or whatever that's going down.
Ah, that actually does make a lot of sense that he's the guy that owns Atari, or he's the guy that created Atari, because they do have video games in Chuck E. Cheese. It's basically an arcade with a rat.
Exactly, they're kind of running the show. So they kind of go down together, believe it or not, that would make sense. So this other company that became like sister company with them and then branched on their own called Showbiz Pizza Place.
Okay, this is where I get confused because
Showbiz.
I've always thought that Showbiz was first. So you're saying that Chuck E. Cheese was first.
Chuck E. Cheese was first.
And then Showbiz happened.
Showbiz did their thing.
And it's like verbatim the same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same
now,
thing. And Disney does a version of this too. I don't know if you know
sure
this.
They do. But
They opened it up in California out here, and it bombed. And it bombed.
that's crazy with bomb like that.
Hard.
I feel like they could maybe bring it. They don't want to do that.
It failed miserably.
Be like a Disney Quest.
It was just like a Chuck E. Cheese. It was a Disney Chuck E. Cheese.
Like Mickey and
Bingo.
Yay.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
So, that sounds terrible. I hate that already.
Showbiz. A lot of weird.
Showbiz.
So it's cool that they had like cool and odd how you could just go in there and, much like the video games at the time, totally rip off somebody's fucking idea and just not face any repercussions for it whatsoever.
Of course not. As long as it's like a little different. It's like, oh, okay, they don't have a rat.
It's called Showbiz. It's kind of a mouse over there.
That's kind of a mouse, but you know.
And it's also what is their main character? Do you know?
I don't even know.
It's a mouse. I thought
I've
it was
never
a
been
rat.
to a Showbiz.
I thought it was a mouse or a rat.
It could. That's hilarious if it is.
The people watching are knowing more.
They're gonna know.
They're gonna know.
Showbiz knows.
You see it right now.
So Showbiz, they, in branching out, was like, listen, Chuck E. Cheese was like, we're gonna stick to our guns. We're gonna invest higher in the video games. We believe it'll flip around.
Showbiz said that.
Chuck E. Cheese said
Chuck E.
that.
Cheese, okay.
Showbiz was like, you can do that. We believe in the animatronics. That shit is gonna turn around, and people are gonna really dig that forever. Like,
so did Chuck E. Cheese have the animatronics right away?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, like
Okay.
off rip, like the whole big cheesy. This is a weird thing, and we're dancing and crazy.
How many animatronics did they have? Not a whole bunch, or was it just
That-
it wasn't like Showbiz? Was Showbiz like bigger and more? Like they
I
ended
think
up
Showbiz
having.
tried to start off like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Initially with like balls to the wall animatronics.
Because you remember when you were a kid, it was better than when I was a teenager. We should save that story, right? For me.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. So when I was a kid, do you remember when you were a kid? It was like the showroom was a fucking showroom.
It was big.
The lights were kicking and the songs were going.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Crazy, right?
It was wacky. Yeah.
That might have been more of a Showbiz thing.
Maybe it probably was. I could definitely see that, like, especially after saying like they wanted to really focus on that more than the video games. Like the video games are phasing out. Let's not embrace that. Let's embrace what the people see, and it's like, whoa, this is sensory overload. Like, I'm a little kid. This looks amazing.
Because the game drop out of the 80s. So
Exactly.
they were like, kids don't like it, so we need to blow their minds with animatronics.
It was I mean, looking back at it now, we can kind of giggle about it, you know, but like at that moment, I could see why you would think that, you know, until bingo bango, till the 80s. It ain't the 80s no more, you know what I mean? And then the games blew up. Showbiz.
Late 80s, 90s arcades,
Bro,
legendary
what?
arcade
Legendary.
games.
I feel like I still chase that high or whatever. It'll never be the same. Like arcades, and you've mentioned some that are sick out here, but it just can't emotionally be the same. You know what I mean? Like I used to love that shit very heavy growing up. Did you feel that way? Like it felt very special going to the arcade for me when I was little.
It did. Me and my having two brothers playing the games that we did was awesome.
Hell yeah, of course.
Teammates
Let's ride.
we often sought out games where it was team oriented and you could co-op. So
Fuck yeah.
X-Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
TMNT,
and also The Simpsons, and a couple other ones. They had one Mario game that you could play with Luigi. And then they had the Mario Kart for an arcade game as well.
Forget about it.
Sega had a couple one. Dude, there is legendary during that time frame. And also Sega was dropping bombs. Sega dropped the Star Wars game where you sat in it and you had the handle, and that was literally in every single Chuck E. Cheese in the 90s. Every single Chuck E. Cheese in the 90s.
Yeah, that at Disney Quest.
Yeah.
Yep,
That was a
pod racer thing.
Huge, giant screen. Big. You fought with Vader at the end.
How many of those did they sell? Seriously, that
a lot.
Was like,
Sega sold a lot of those.
That was the move.
They also sold. They sold the big water. Yeah, I think it was for Sega Saturn, maybe, or it was the jet ski. It was the big jet ski setup where it had the huge screen. You literally bounced up and down.
Those were pretty tight.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Yeah,
they had the Jurassic Park games in there. They had skee ball standard, basketball games, and then they also had the sky tubes and stuff like that.
So is that all the stuff that was in Chuck E. I'm trying to remember all the games. Were the arcade games at Chuck E. Cheese popping?
In the 90s when I was a kid, yes.
Right?
When I was a kid, yes. And I mean, I went there when I all the time. For every year, me and my brothers were going to Chuck E. Cheese for a birthday.
For a birthday?
Yeah.
More than Discovery Zone? Or was this just before Discovery Zone?
I only went to Discovery Zone because of other kids.
Okay.
Other kids wanted to go to Discovery Zone and for their birthday, and I had been invited. That's the only way I went.
Yeah? Word.
Yeah.
That's kind of true, though. I'm trying to think of times I went, but I definitely went with groups of 30, I feel like.
I lived in different parts of Florida than you did. You've only lived in East Orlando. Because of my mom and early of my parents, I've lived on the west coast of Florida for a couple of years, and my mom there was a Chuck E. Cheese over there that was pretty legendary. It was it was pretty gigantic, yeah.
Legendary.
And she took us there every birthday for me and my brothers. And dude, the poppin' arcades, poppin' sky tubes, all that stuff. It was a lit
sky tubes.
Yeah.
Germ traps.
I never did the show for any of our birthday because you had to reserve the table. I think you had to pay for that party or whatever. So.
I would not have been down when I was little.
Yeah,
I was super not to the.
I wouldn't have been into it either. I'm not. I didn't care about that kind of shit. I cared about the presents.
Of course, bring those along for sure.
What's inside those pretty boxes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get those Mighty Morphin Power Rangers out. And let's
whip them out, daddy.
Start having some fun, bro.
Let's bring out some wrestlers, dude. What time is it? Yeah, Discovery Zone, Chuck E. Cheese, bowling alley was the holy trinity of birthday parties, right?
Yeah.
Bowling alley, poppin'.
So Chuck E. Cheese went hard with arcades versus Showbiz.
Yes. Didn't work out that well for Showbiz. You know what I mean?
When did Showbiz close?
They plunked in it said, and I was like, is this right? This is 2014.
Okay, so I have been to a Showbiz. I was going to ask you if you've ever been. I know I've
never been to
then.
one.
I know I've been then because I remember going to one when I was a kid.
Okay.
And it was with my mom, and it was on the west coast of Florida.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I'm 100%. I'm 100%.
Pretty tight?
Yeah, I don't remember it like that, but I know that I've been to one, and it was this isn't Chuck E. Cheese. I remember that conversation of huh?
What are we doing here?
It was just a weird, different thing. And pizza, I don't remember the pizza being different or better, but I do remember Chuck E. Cheese pizza being better when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Than versus now. I don't know about now. I haven't had it now, but
you haven't. Well,
when I got older.
That's kind of what brings us into all this.
Oh, shit, I could talk about days and days for pizza, bro.
So just to kind of wrap up, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, they currently had a buyout, okay, with global management, with Apollo Global Management, bought them out for $54 a share, roughly $950 million for Chuck E. Cheese.
Smart
move, and they're moving, doing their things. That's when shit hits rock bottom
for Chuck E. Cheese.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's when the rules, similar to this podcast and the GIZZVERSE podcast, which I hope you listen to as well,
go off the rails.
Go off the rails and has no rules, okay? Many reports, and I do say many reports, okay?
Because a lot of Chuck E. Cheeses are independently owned, and they just have the brand Chuck E. Cheese. So there's a dude
another mistake
that owns it, and he's the GM, or he hires a GM, whatever.
Tight.
And he runs the ship, basically, is how that works.
Or this is my Chuck E. Cheese now.
Or he owns 3, or whatever. That's how that happens when it goes when somebody buys you out like that, essentially.
Not an unusual concept here in the US
public.
of A.
No, but that's when you're suggesting is getting ready to happen. I'm kind of setting it up
Rock
a little bit.
bottom.
Rules seem to go out the window.
Rules seem to go out the window.
Yeah, you become a Walmart basically.
You become a Walmart real quick, real fast.
Yeah.
Now,
Service isn't your highest priority.
no, that's so number 3 on
Let's
the list.
keep describing of how bad this is.
Let's keep this going.
Without going.
This is when you don't care.
Without getting to the point at all.
This general realization for not caring about humans. I start seeing some pictures flown around online.
Online?
Online.
Oh boy. About me? Dude, I didn't.
And it's
that
of a
was
guy named
one
Tommy
time.
O'Neill.
It was one time,
And
bro.
you're pee-pee.
I swear to God.
Okay?
Okay?
And I know your pee-pee anywhere. You put up a pee-pee line, I'll be like, that one.
It's a mask of you with my body. Butt naked.
Pictures start to surface.
Having sex with midgets. Give it to me.
Pictures surface at the same time that a friend of mine tells me a very similar tale. Okay?
Pictures of pizza
Of pizza.
going bad?
The pizza, like they'll bring it to the table, and it's it's cut in like 8 or whatever, but they don't all match up. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like they're like
Yeah.
there's like a big slice and there's like a little slice,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a little pizza with like a big old slice in
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Like, what the
yeah,
hell's going on? And then I see that, and
Oh,
I
come
kid
on,
you
man.
not,
It's like you don't know how to cut pizza.
and I kid you not, the same
It
day,
doesn't come out of a fucking machine, dude. It's cut by a human.
of course,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but we're not talking about cuts. We're not talking about like.
I'll explain what happens. I know I could. Oh, this is a good setup. You did this good. This is a good podcast. You did this good.
Oh, I know, buddy. Don't worry, man. So and my homegirl was like, yeah, my friend was just at Chuck E. Cheese, and he said that the like pizza didn't add
What
up.
was he
It
doing
didn't-
there? How
and
old is this
that was
fucking
I was like,
friend?
and and she was like, really,
If you don't have kids, don't go to a Chuck E.
What are you doing at Chuck E. Cheese
You're
ever?
You're a weirdo. You're a weirdo.
which is my number one question.
They have awesome adult arcades that are better than any Chuck E. Cheese arcade.
believe it or not.
They buy old Sega stuff. You're not going to find Konami games, which are your Street Fighters. Those are the Mortal Kombat game. That's not Konami, but
Nah,
it's
but
in that same vein. You're not going to
Midway.
find the dope. Right. You're not going to find those dope ass games in Chuck E. Cheese.
Nah.
Nah.
So that was my concern. I was like, how often? She's like, oh yeah, because this happened to a friend a while. She was like, yeah, ever since then I haven't been back to a Chuck E. Cheese.
Female friend or it was a male friend?
A female friend. It was a male friend that told her about the crazy pizza, I believe.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, ever since then I haven't been back to a Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, were you going often? Like prior to this news, were you going often or whatever?
Right.
So they've been put on blast as of late, for the last like couple years, that they're recycling pizza. So like if you leave and you leave a couple slices, which number one, I ain't leaving I'm not leaving a couple slices anywhere on this planet. Thank you very much. Those are coming home with daddy. But kids, they don't eat the pizza. The parents don't fucking want it. They're saying they recycle the pizza, but yeah, no problem. We'll keep that in the oven or whatever. And then just kind of they give you a recycled pie or whatever. You know what I mean? Now, before I open the floodgates to you to answer,
I'm waiting. I am white knuckling. You have no idea how many times
sure.
I've been wanting to just go.
So, I did a little research before I got to the source.
Got to.
Okay? I had to do a little research on this. I was like, come on. I was like, is that even cost effective? Because I'm sure they're back there flipping pies. Like
The Giz podcast is easy to us. That just comes natural. This one, we got to work a little bit. We got to do a little
We gotta work
research
a
on
little
this
bit.
podcast.
We
For
gotta
sure.
work a little
I
bit.
respect the game.
So I decided, as the reporter that I've become,
Yeah.
I'm going to call a few Chuck E. Cheese real quick.
No way.
I called 3 Chuck E. Cheese.
Hell yeah.
Okay. In varying locations, all right? I'm not going to give you the exact locations.
Did you make up complaints? Were you like, hey, man, last time I was there, I think I got recycled pizza.
I think I got a recycled. I got sick as fuck from recycled pizza, I'm pretty sure.
recycled
No,
pizza.
I asked a question flat out. 3 different
No, you
Chuck E.
didn't.
Cheese. Yeah, legit. 3 responses, kind of. I said,
Okay,
Hi.
next time you're going to do something like this, I have a phone recorder, and we could record these
I
conversations.
thought about recording on this phone. I was like, hello, it's me. I said, hey, man, just had a quick question. I was like, if like a family comes in and they order like a pizza and they don't eat all of it, like what do you guys do with that pizza? And the first person was like, we throw it away. I was like, do you ever eat it? He's like, nah, just throw it away. I was like, okay. I was like, can you eat it? He's like, I don't know. I just throw it away. I was like, okay, so you throw it away. He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, man, that's all I needed to know, man. I appreciate it, dude. Cool. The second one, I got a little more cozy with him. I was like, hey, man, same thing. I was like, yeah, I was just wondering what do you guys do, like with the pizza or whatever. He's like, we make the pizza when it's ordered. I was like, yeah, but I was like, but what do you do when people leave it? He's like, when people leave what? I was like, when people leave the pizza. He's like, when people leave the pizza where? I was like, when they don't eat all of it and they don't eat all the pizza. He's like, we throw it away. I was like, but by any chance, do you ever like, just like, reuse it for like the next people that order?
Sure.
He's like, I don't think we're allowed to do that. I was like, oh, okay, well. I was like, all right, man, thanks. I appreciate it, dude. It was very ridiculous. And then the third one, which was like, I was, hey, just want to know what you guys do with the pizza when people don't eat it, And they're like, I don't understand the question. And then the person said, like, please don't call. It's like, she said, we're very busy right now. And I was like, well, I just want to, I was like, okay, no problem. So, which to me sounds like a cover up, I feel like she got this question
If
before.
there's anything now that's for certain, it was a cover up.
That sounds pretty shady or whatever from my point of view.
Yeah, man, you got to let me know. We can record those phone calls. That's really funny. That's really,
very silly,
really
man. It was
funny.
very silly.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I just need to know, what you do with that pizza or whatever. So
I
whenever you
love
get a
that.
chance.
That's so fucking funny.
So now I have to, which I don't know if we haven't brought this up yet. My friend Tommy O'Neill here
Yeah, shockingly enough.
used to be employed by CEC itself. Right?
I was an employee of Chuck E. Cheese. It would literally say CEC, company or industry or whatever. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. CEC is a person that would sign my
Global.
fucking checks. I worked there from the ages of 14, I'm 15. I worked there from the ages of 15 to maybe 18 or 17.
Wow, yeah.
Somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe my senior year I quit because then I could handle alcohol or something like that. I don't know why, but I got a better offer in a different job, and I was like, thank you.
Thank you.
I was a game room technician at Chuck E. Cheese.
GRT.
In Orlando, Florida. And let me tell you something. If there's a job to get in that place, game room technician is the job. That's the one to get right there. It is the lowest, chillest, kickingest job you have. Lowest in terms of
responsibility.
Low key. You know what I mean? Low responsibility level. Under the radar. You make everybody happy. My job is to fix games, which I knew very little about. I got very little training by some,
of course,
obese dude that his butt was popping. You're exactly who you think. A super nerdy guy, balding, that was creepy and would make inappropriate comments to girls and stuff like that, and make he would say stuff to me about girls that work there. So inappropriate, dude. Hey, check out that girl.
Put a wiener in the basket. Or
oh my god! As he's showing me what to do, it's like my second day. I'm like, yeah, okay. I just had to watch some video in the back. Anyways,
cheese in her.
And also between ugh. Basically, fixing a game while we're on the subject, you just basically put something in the whistle hole and just check. Of
course, because the change probably stuck up in there or something, right?
Change my ass. It was kids taking pizza and just ramming it in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Anything that could fit in that tiny little hole, kids were jamming in that shit. And you would have to get in there and fix it, pull the mechanism out, clean it, and either exchange the mechanism or whatever.
The kids eating the pizza immediately. Okay, whatever. It's not a key, I guess.
By my final year, I knew a lot about arcade games, the ins and outs, and what it was, what exactly it was built, how it was all, what was going on inside there. For the most part, I could tell you how one's put together. I can't tell you what anything else in advance, but
sure.
I got the maintenance generally of what to do, and also we were moderately in charge of the ball pit. Which fucking sucked.
No doubt.
The best part of my job was I was also Chuck E. Cheese. So the guy, when it wasn't Friday or Saturday, which is when they had a designated Chuck E. Cheese for the birthday, because that person's walking around the whole time. That guy's Chuck E. the whole. If you go in during certain reservation hours, you're going to see a Chuck E. consistently out there. He's going to be out of the suit for 10 minutes and then out in there for 45 minutes to 50 minutes, working it, dancing, doing it. On the game room one, it's every hour you go in there for 20 minutes. And we would always push it to half an hour to 40 minutes. Because being Chucky in Chuck E. Cheese is a godlike experience,
dude.
It is like becoming the golden buffalo in a town that worships buffalo.
I love you, Chucky.
It's insane. It's insane. Kids, they buy it. There's no question that you're the
sure.
rat. They don't look at you in a weird way. They're just like, you were Chuck E.
Tommy?
Cheese. And we had a perfect system at the place that we worked. You couldn't be a teenager and coming up in there all the time.
Good. That's the worst.
Yeah, well, there was sometimes when some of our friends, like Joey Scarp,
Yo.
came in there. They super glued a cord. I'll never forget this. They super glued some of our friends, dumbass pieces of shit. Super glued, not Joey, but other guys. Super glued. Joey's a sweetheart. Super glued a quarter to one of the machines. That was a glass machine, and they didn't know this, but replacing the glass machine would have cost more than the game was worth at that time. So they were just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna leave it there." We tried to like pour Goo-Gon on it, which that was that job was my introduction to Goo-Gon, because you had to clean gum off the floor and shit like that, and that was a routine. You constantly had to get glue or
so
gum.
much gum in there.
So much gum. We didn't sell it, but for some reason everybody had it. Everybody had it. It's dropping out. It was horrible. It was horrible. But Chuck E. Cheese was definitely the highlight. And simultaneously, this is kind of why the video game guy was cool, because you could get lost in the rough where nobody's asking you to do things because you're kind of responsible for a lot of little small things. Like if they're busy,
busting my ass out here,
then you go grab a pizza and you bring it out to a table. Like if they got a lot going on and you don't, then go help out a little bit. And the kitchen guys like that. And if the kitchen guys are happy, dude, out of nowhere, you're going to get a free pizza. That's a good thing to keep in mind. If you're ever in a restaurant, keep the kitchen guys on your side. You do not want kitchen guys to hate you. That's in any place of food. Those kitchen guys are your Lord and Savior, and they got the hardest job. Those guys bang that shit out. I don't care if it's pizza,
hot,
chicken, and they made more. They had like sandwiches and stuff like that. You talked about pizza, but they have subs. They have wings. They got salads, a bunch of different stuff that they sell there. Hot dogs, all that shit. So beer, wine, all types of stuff they sold at Chuck E. Cheese. To get to the core of the matter, pizza.
Let's bring it to the core.
Did I cover my job there?
100%.
Okay, no, let me tell you the two stories. I've been trying to formulate a little.
Rip them deep.
I'll do one story, because the other ones, I want to do these on stage, so I'll do one story. I've told you this before. I'm going to paint the picture a little bit for the folks at home. I have to sweep up. It's kind of a ridiculous act, but like you spot sweep. You have the little thing, like the Walmart sweeper, little box, you know what I mean, and a broom, walking around sweeping in kids' bullshit, food that they just drop, pizzas. They just drop on the ground, like, fuck it. They don't tell anybody. They don't pick it up.
Not my problem.
Parents are just like, hey, I paid $20. I'm allowed to do this. Who gives a shit?
Chuck E. Cheese.
And they don't care. They don't care. I'm walking around doing that. This mom comes up to me, has a pizza in her hand, and comes up and starts complaining about her pizza being cold. Meanwhile, her kid is literally taking his pants off. No, I can't tell if he has a diaper or whatnot, but he takes his pants off, bends down, and takes a dry little poop. It's not a wet poop. It's
a dry little poop?
A dry little poop, and little nuggets just hit the floor in front of me.
Give that kid some water.
And the mom goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She picks the kid up and goes to the bathroom. I didn't see this bitch for like at least 10 minutes, and by that time, as you can imagine, I already had picked up the poop. I didn't wait for her to pick up I'm standing around like, what is going on? Did that just happen? So I
scooped it?
When the back, dude, you know it. You fucking know it, Daddy.
Better.
You fucking know it. I took it with a little spot sweeper and sweep that shit right up in there. I put some napkins on it, just bip, 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 bip.
Good idea with the napkins.
A lot of times I had to go up in the sky tubes too and clean up. Kids would just take dumps in the sky tubes. They would go in like the little ends of it and pull down their pants and just take shits.
It's amazing.
What the fuck is wrong with these kids?
Evil little maniacs.
Hiding shits, you know? Shit. They would take pisses up there too. That was bad. That was worse than the shits. The shits were controlled. Pissing, it was just wet, and it would go into other parts.
Crevices,
so you have to clean the whole thing inside.
A vacuum in there, and
the morning crew, which I was not because I went to high school. Thank God. At this time, the morning crew had to clean the interior of the sky tubes. Right. It was the whole thing.
Wearing a mask and shit.
So to break down the pizza of it, which I had worked in the kitchen a couple times during certain shifts, whatever, or it got busy. It's not just the kitchen guys that are cutting those pizzas. Sometimes it's the game room guys who are probably a little high.
O'Neal, you could have got this mine.
And it's my first time that I've ever cut a fucking pizza.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a pizza cutter, but it's a big, like, half a moon thing, crescent,
Right.
and it's just a big fucking knife. And you, if you don't know how to do it, you feel like you're tying your shoes for the first time. It's something that you watch a guy do, and it's yeah, it's a perfectly cut pizza, and then you think, oh, okay, no problem. You go jump on the bike for the first time, and and immediately bust your ass, and I'm like, I am never doing that shit again. That's exactly what happened. I was like, God, and they look, dude, like I cut it, and there was like a middle part where there was like a I don't know nonagon in the middle of the pizza, from like multi-sided, and they literally go. The kitchen guys were so fucking mad at me because they go, "We have to make a new pizza," and they made a new pizza, and then that pizza went to the crew, and they were like, "Hey, whatever."
The crew.
They were fucking so mad at me because they were busy, and I'm like, nobody's ever taught me to do this, and I didn't say that. It was so. Anyways, sometimes when you're getting those cold pizzas, cold fucked up dilapidated pizzas. They also could be old pizzas that people canceled. They've seen this. This is bad. Where you bring a pizza out and they're like, oh, I didn't order this or whatever. So you take it back.
Large pepperoni.
And
no
they
problem.
put it underneath the heater. And this is what managers do. This is fucked up. Managers go, let's give it a little bit. Maybe someone comes in and orders a cheese pizza and we bring them that one. And they wait a little bit longer to make it seem like they just made the pizza. So they'll run it through the oven. So it's like a double-baked pizza.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's more than likely what's going on. They bring it out, and the guy just don't want it, or it's like they cut it weird, and the guy's like, oh, man, come on, dude, go cut a better pizza. Then they send it back, which is retarded, by the way. If you're in a Chuck E. Cheese and don't think some ex-cons are back there making that
Yeah, who you
pizza,
think's back there?
you want to request a second pizza from those psychopaths? Good fucking on you, dude. Good fucking on you, bro. You're a maniac.
Chucky and the boys back there cutting,
You're a maniac,
cutting
bro.
pies and
I've seen them. Those guys sniff cocaine. There's a lot of those guys are maniacs, bro. I would not be fucking with those
working
dudes.
doubles and shit, man.
I would not, man. And they pound. That was the first real experience that I had at a job that they would take you in the freezer and they had kegs. And this is the thing. The owner bought pot off of my stepbrother at the time who got me the job, and that's why
R.I.P., brother.
the O'Neal brothers were untouchable in that place. And I got my little brother a job there. So we were kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese family at that point. And his sons, the owner's sons, worked there. There were two kitchen guys. They were notorious, and everything that I've said is who I've been envisioning the entire time. Anything about the kitchen guys, that's who I'm talking about. Is these two psychopaths who look completely opposite of each other. It's like it's a cartoon. One's like small and kind of thinner, and the other one's tall and like a fucking football player. It's so funny. They're dynamic. They scream at each other and holler. Anyways, they take me back into the back room and just like top a keg, pour a beer, and we're not even closing yet. It's like 2 to 3 hours before closing.
That's right.
And we're like popping a beer, boom, we pound it, and it's some new manager, and they're like, shut the fuck up. We get busted, and nothing happens to me. We go out, and I just do my job, come back, and as we're closing, like, hey, you want another beer?
Yeah,
Drink another
I'll take
beer,
another one.
smoke some. Those are the psychos that you're asking to make another pizza for you.
Sir.
You're questioning their skills and abilities, and they're mad because they know the manager has already told them to do this, and they're like, bro, just fucking no. Let's just do it. They don't care like that. So,
right.
And the interesting part about Chuck E. Cheese, too, before we have to dismount, people stop caring about this. Chuck E. Cheese makes their own pizza in-house. They don't get their dough shipped. They don't get...
I read this.
They don't get a... So Papa John's, Little Caesars, Domino's, all these spots, they get their dough, and some other ones that would surprise you, get their dough shipped in by the equivalent of like a Publix or a Ralph's or a Vaughn's truck or like a grocery store truck would... And it's frozen in the bag, and it comes hard frozen dough, basically, and it's made in some factory that like poops it out onto
dough.
Exactly what you just said. I didn't need to repeat it. And it poops it out, and they get it. It's old, it's gross. That's not what Chuck E. Cheese does. They make all their stuff in house, fresh that morning, that day. They go in it's the whole thing. They flip it in the back.
Cocaine-fueled flips.
The first time that I've ever flipped it. So that kind of dough is different. That kind of dough sits different. And, like, it's not the same level of preservatives that go into it, and it goes bad fast. It's not the same kind of pizza that most people are used to, and when they get it,
pumped with preservatives, and
they're not used to it the same way. But also, to be honest with you, what I thought about that lady when her kid was pooping in front of me, if you're complaining about Chuck E. Cheese pizza, bro, shut the fuck. You're barking up the wrong. You didn't come here for the pizza, right?
Dude,
are you serious?
Please tell me not, man.
Order your kid a hot dog or a personal pizza. You can't eat the pizza here, lady. Get a salad before you come here, okay?
Sugars in that marinara?
And how about this? Why don't you get up and play with your kid for once in your fucking life, okay?
Leave the pizza alone.
Don't leave that to the rat, having to entertain your kid the whole time.
Chew on that, Edith.
And then complain about the $15 that you spend and the bullshit toy that you bought at the counter that doesn't work.
The best time of your
That's what I
kid's life.
think about these people complaining. Your friend's friend complaining about that. I hope he listens to this fucking podcast because that's like you don't be complaining about pizza, buddy.
You take your kid somewhere else then.
This is my advice. I'm kidding. Obviously, you have the right to complain about something you purchased for it. However, keep in mind, Chuck E. Cheese, any other theme park type of place, themed restaurant, if you will, the theme is more important than the restaurant. And the word theme always goes when you're reading it, it always goes in front of whatever they're describing. So the theme is more important than whatever else.
Have you been to medieval times?
Bars, anything like that.
Nobody's there for the food. It's so delicious.
That being said, the food is delicious. Medieval times, that was a bad example because the soup is garbage. It's basically watered down tomatoes. But
watered down tomatoes.
Oh, it's trash, man. Oh, it's garbage, dude. It's garbage. Yeah.
Gruel.
But that's all I have to say about that, man. How about you? You got anything else to add? You got anything to topper the copper?
I think, you know what? I think we said it all, man, because I find that to be true. I think it's harder to keep a bunch of slices of leftover pizza under a heat lamp, taking up space in a kitchen for hours waiting for people to want it. It seems like it'd be easier to make your own pie.
Even minutes. What I think if I owned a restaurant, I would look for an opportunity to boost morale and be like, hey, guys, we got a pizza in the back. Go back, grab a slice real quick, eat that shit, and then come back out and work. That is way better of a move than, hey, let's save it and try to make fucking $10 more.
Dude, and no corporate, maybe like the mom and pop shop next door or whatever might try to weasel something like that, but a corporation like that?
Not for dough that you're making in-house. That doesn't make any sense.
Like, what?
At that point, you're literally counting grains. Dough is the easiest thing to make. It's water, a little bit of powder, you know what I mean? A little cocaine. You got yourself, this is the first time I did see people put sugar goes into pizza dough. Most pizza dough has sugar in it. Well, the good ones.
Chuck E. Cheese?
The good ones don't. That's the move.
I'm expecting it at Chuck E. Cheese.
If the dough's sweet, it's a bad pizza. Little
not a good start.
Knowledge from your boy T-Bone.
Chew on that.
With that pizza knowledge. Guys, if you're listening this far into the podcast, not only do we appreciate it, but go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you like listening to. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, we appreciate it, and let us know where you're vibing from, man. Let us know what country you're from, dog.
Where you from, bro?
What's your sign, bro?
If you're in LA, hit us up. We'll go to Chuck E. Cheese, bro. We'll get zooted, man.
We got a couple things, couple new stuff coming up. We're gonna film something and put that out in the next couple weeks, and
freaking right.
I don't have shows till next year, so don't worry about that. Grooving. Thanksgiving's coming up. Pretty excited about that.
The goose is getting fat.
If you guys don't listen to GIZZVERSE podcast, you might not catch a happy Thanksgiving.
You're missing out.
So happy Thanksgiving from your boys here at the Busted Wide Open. I'm gonna go pick up my brother from the airport. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Later, y'all.
Peace.
Working hard or hardly working?